And now it's time for another episode of Vacation Rental Mailbag. And you say, wow, that sounds pretty exciting. What is Vacation Rental Mailbag? Well, it's where we answer your questions. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, on Vacation Rental Mailbag, this is something that we do on Wednesdays. And this allows you, as a vacation rental host, or an Airbnb host, or a short-term rental host, or a property manager who sends house cleaners to vacation rental properties, or the house cleaner who does the turnover service, or a guest who stays at vacation rental properties. If you have a question, you can send it here to the show, and we will answer it on our Vacation Rental Mailbag show. All right, now, in order to leave a message, you can go over to turnovercleaningtips.com, and there's a little blue button right there in the corner. You click on that button and a little magic, a microphone appears, and you can start talking and it will record your message and send it to us here at the show. So, turnovercleaningtips.com. All right, now on to today's show. We're going to pull out some of those messages and read them from our mailbag. And here is the first one that we have. Hey Angela, I have a no smoking policy. Someone put a plastic bag over the smoke detector and they smoked in my unit. How am I supposed to get rid of the smell? All right, that's a great question. And the answer is, first and foremost, I would file a complaint with the listing service that says this guest broke my house rules. Now, the next thing that you have to realize is they tampered with a smoke detector. And there's a huge fine that goes along with that pretty much anywhere you go. Now, this needs to be in your listing. If it's not in your listing, the guest can say they didn't know and there's nothing you can do about it, okay? So it has to be in your listing that says you are not allowed to smoke on my property, and if you do, there will be a hefty fine. Now, having said that, there are some listing sites that are cracking down on vacation rental owners who are charging exorbitant fees that are $400, $500, $600 to have somebody come in and renovate and clean your property so that it doesn't smoke anymore. So what you might consider doing is, because they're cracking down, you have to put it in your writing and say, hey, this is what I expect. You may have to go after the guest directly. But if you have to go through the listing site, a lot of the listing sites now are saying you can only charge double, twice the cleaning fee. So it's the cleaning fee times 2, which is the cleaning fee and then an extra cleaning fee to go in and get rid of that smell. So that's kind of what you're limited to, unless you have something in your listing and you're going to deal with the client directly. All right, now the next thing that you have to consider is there are ozone machines, and they work really well. And that's going to kind of suck all of the fumes out of the drapery and the upholstery and the carpets and the paint and all the stuff in your house. So it's not going to smell so bad afterwards. But if you have guests coming in immediately and it's a really quick turn, you might consider something like Ozium. Now, Ozium is a spray, and I will leave links in the show notes to that as well so that you can get a good feel for what I'm talking about. But you spray this in the air and it eliminates very strong smells like cigarette smoke, pot smoking, curry if your guests were doing some serious cooking in your house, and there are very strong smells that you can't get rid of. So the Ozium will help that as well, and that's for more of a quick turn. Okay, another thing that I would recommend is, if you have the ability to ventilate the property, open all the doors and windows while you're there and kind of let everything air out before you reset the property. That's going to get rid of a lot of the smoke instead of just trying to mask it. I hate that this happened to you. It's really horrible, and I'm sorry. But you do need to have, I would recommend buying an ozone machine. They range anywhere from $50 to $1,000, but you can get a pretty good one for under $100. I'll leave links in the show notes to that as well. But I recommend keeping one on site. There are people that break the rules all the time. And so just be prepared for that, because you need to have a way to get rid of the strong smells. All right, next question. Do you reduce the cleaning fee if I only stay half the time? I wish that were the case. Wouldn't it be lovely if we only had half the cleaning to do? But the answer is no. The price is going to be the same if you come and you stay at a place and then you decide to leave early. It's going to cost the very same cleaning fee, because the cleaning company is going to come in and they have to do the same cleaning whether you stay for 5 hours or whether you stay for 3 days, okay? They're going to come in and they're going to wipe everything down from top to bottom. They're going to dust all the horizontal surfaces. They're going to dust the vertical surfaces if they need to be done. They're going to vacuum everything. They're going to clean up all the hair. They have to wash out the bathtub. They got to clean out the sinks and the toilets. They've got to wipe everything down and sanitize everything. They've got to change all the bed linens, which means they got to do a bunch of laundry. They've got to pull out all of the linens from the bathrooms and the kitchen. They've got to replace all of that. They still have all the staging to do where they have to restack the brochures and they have to come in and change the lights and restock the coffee bar and anything that you may have used, even if you were only there for one day. So the price stays the same whether you're there for just a little bit or you're there for a few days. So I wish that only half the cleaning was required, but it's not. You got to pay the house cleaner anyway. So that's your cleaning fee. It's going to cost the same amount. So stay a couple days, enjoy it, live it up, and have fun, right? All right, next question. I'm a professional house cleaner and I'm going to go stay at an Airbnb. Can I offer to clean the place myself and eliminate or erase the cleaning fee they're trying to charge me? Oh, I love that question. The answer is no, you can't. Even though you're a professional, you have not cleaned this particular property. And as a professional house cleaner, you know that when you go to a property for the first time, you usually do a deep cleaning. And so as a deep cleaning, that's going to introduce you to all the nooks and crannies of the house. You're going to find out what's broken, what is gingerly sitting there and needs special attention. You're also going to figure out how long it takes to clean stuff. And it's going to be a much more detailed cleaning than if you were just to kind of tidy up after yourself. Now, you don't know this property and you're not going to do a deep cleaning, okay? So yeah, it would be great to eliminate the fee and just say, hey, you're going to clean up after yourself. All the laundry still has to be done. And it's your word against theirs. If they have a regular house cleaner that comes in, they know that the linens got changed instead of you just kind of stretching them out and making them look all nice and new again, okay? Some people have done that. So you have to be very careful that this is not your style of cleaning. This is their style of cleaning. They know exactly what they need in order to get the place ready for the next guests. And they know exactly what they need as far as inventory goes and staging and all those things. So for you just to say, well, I'm going to stay there and then clean up after myself, that's lovely. I hope that you do. I hope that you still tidy up after yourself, but they still have to pay a cleaning service. Now, as a professional house cleaner, put yourself in their shoes. If you had the Airbnb and then another house cleaner came and stayed there and said, hey, I'm going to cut the job out from the house cleaner that you have, which is you, coming to stay at this Airbnb, and they're going to clean up after themselves, you go, no way, that's not fair, right? So it's not fair to the person that comes in regularly and cleans the place. You're taking away their job. You're taking away their income. And they have kids, they've got mouths to feed, they've got bills to pay. So even though you know how to clean, this is not your job. You're on vacation. So just go enjoy the vacation, enjoy your time, pay the cleaning fee, and know that if the tables were turned, someone else would be paying the cleaning fee for you, okay? All right, well, that's it for today for our Vacation Rental Mailbag. If you have questions, leave them over at turnovercleaningtips.com. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.